What is up, everyone on YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis XL, right? Coming at you with Card Talks, the show where I take a look at all the new cards on YGO Pro. We give them a look, see what they are, see if they're any good. We have a whole bunch of cards today, some members of certain archetypes. And let's go ahead and let's start with the extra deck. I'll go ahead and talk about the new Dragonmaid fusion. Yes, Husky has a dragon form now. This is a level 10 light dragon with 3,500 attack, 2,000 defense. Her name is Thrall, and she's quite lovely. I really like the color palette there. It's very nice. So what this card does, you need a Dragonmaid and a level 5 or higher dragon to summon. Very easy for Dragonmaids to do. During the standby phase, you can summon a level 9 or lower Dragonmaid from hand or grave. Very nice, very nice. Let you bring back Husky and the like. Let's see, what else do you do? When your opponent activates a card or an effect, you can negate and destroy it. And after that, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, summon a House Dragonmaid from the extra deck. So basically, your opponent activates anything, you bounce this to negate it, and you get yourself a Husky. Alright, that's fine, you know. Dragonmaids didn't have any negation or anything, so this is actually good. I really like it. I mean, it kind of thinks that it bounces itself right away, but otherwise it'd be a bit too much if it only bounced during the end phase. So running a couple of these in your Dragonmaid deck, good idea. I would definitely recommend you do that. So that's that. We've got Invoked next. They have a new fusion. It looks like, isn't that Spell Tower? No. What was that spellbook card? I'm going to keep looking it up while I read this card. So this is Invoked Ogodes. I think that's how that is spelled. Book. Okay, so this guy needs Alistair and a fusion monster. If this is special summoned, or if a monster is special summoned. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing. There we go. If this card special summoned or a monster special summoned to your opponent's field, target a monster opponent controls, destroy it. Alright, you can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, so the first time your opponent summons something that you don't want them to have, you can blow it up. Interesting enough. I mean, this is a defense monster. I forgot to mention 2,800 defense, level 8 light fairy. Yep. Let's see, what else do you do? Once per turn, banish fusion from the grave. This card's attack gains attack. You can do the banished monster's attack till the end of the opponent's turn. Okay, so pretty basic monster, to be honest. I mean, all it does is beat over things and pop monsters once per turn. So certainly something that Invoked could use, especially if you had like Mechaba alongside this. Hard to do both at the same time, but I'm sure it's more than possible. I mean, Invoked can do it. I'm still looking for that bloody spell card. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is that? There it is. Yeah, it's Grand Spellbook Tower. I think it looks like it. I think that is. Yeah, that's Grand Spellbook Tower. Weird. Okay, so anyway, that aside, we've got a new Link, Codebreaker Virus Berserker. Needs 2+ monsters, including a Codebreaker monster to be summoned. Alright. 2,800 point Link 3 Warrior monster. If this card's special summon and is co-linked, you can summon up to 2 Codebreaker monsters from hand or graveyard to zones a Link monster points to. During the main phase, you can destroy spell traps up to the number of linked Codebreakers on the field. You can only use each defense once per turn. I mean, if it pops on your opponent's back row, that's cool and all. It swarms the board and stuff, but there's a problem. I was looking up Codebreaker. This is the... wait for it. Yeah, this is the only card in the archetype. So currently, this card is literally unplayable. So, you'll have to wait a little longer if you were interested in this card. So, that's all I can really say about it. It's a big monster that pops back row. It's really... oh, and swarms a little bit, but that's about it. So next we got the Traptrix Xyz. New Traptrix Xyz. Alamaris, of course, unaffected by traps while it has material. Detach 2 to summon an insect or plant from the grave, i.e. your entire archetype. And if a monster your opponent controls leaves the field because of a card effect of yours, i.e. all of your traps, and is now in the grave or is banished, You can attach a material to special summon to your field. So if your opponent summons something big, and then you trap hole it, you can steal it. Honestly, I think that's all the effect Alamaris needed. The second effect's nice and all, but not all the trap tricks really care about being special summoned. I mean, Dionaya fetches you back your traps, and Mermello pop stuff, but that's about it. Although you could special summon Sarah back and have her in defense mode, so that is nice. So definitely playing this for, the second effect. It's nice that trap tricks have a 2200 beater now, because they didn't have much in the attack department before, although they were never really about that. Last in the extra deck is Rhina Saber, the Mad Dash Armory, Fire level 7 Machine Synchro, 2400 attacker, part of the Saber archetype. Is that like 8X Sabers or something? Regardless. This is an interesting card. It's pretty generic because it is generic summoning requirement. Discard cards to give 700 attack boost for each discarded. That's permanent, by the way. At the end of the battle phase, if this card battles, you can send this to the grave, summon any number of monsters from the grave except for this dude, whose total levels equals 7, but their effects are negated. You can only use this effect once per turn. So basically the idea is synchro summon this, boost its attack, beat over things, bring back stuff for different synchro, a link, etc. It's also nice that you can just dump your entire hand. So any archetype that really likes the graveyard setup would like this card. I like it mostly because it's a rhino. It's a rhino car thing. That's kind of cool. I like it. So it's a nice, interesting card. I don't think it's ever going to be competitive or anything, but in a casual setting, I can see this thing being a lot of fun. All right, so that's the extra deck cards. We got some interesting stuff and some stuff that makes me question humanity. Let's go to the extra deck and try to get a little faster here. First up, we got Gachiri and Ignister. Ignisters are getting a couple new cards. One's good, one's not so good. So this dude, first time each Cyberus you control will be destroyed by card effect, it's not. So it gives your monsters a bit of protection, not important. What's important is you can target a Cyberus effect monster, negate its effects, and summon this from the hand. So basically, you get your island up, you get your Lingaribo on board, you summon another Ignister, and then you negate that Ignister's effect, because none of the Ignisters really have effects on the board that really matter at that point. And then you summon this, and you go for your Dark Templar. So, makes Dark Templar easier to do. Also, if this card is sent from field to grave, you can target a face-up monster. It's unaffected by opponent's card effect, so doubly go for Ignister with this thing. Makes Ignister immune to stuff, makes it easier for Ignister to run over stuff, makes it easier for Ignister to swarm the board with more of his little buddies, and go for that arrival at Ignister. So, I would play a couple of this card. 2, 3... I don't know about 3, 2. I would say 2. I'd say 2 for this boy. Also, we've got the sword version, Gusari at Ignister, which is basically if your link gets destroyed by battle, you can summon this. He's a 3k beat stick, by the way. When your link monster destroys a monster by battle, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. And when an attack is declared involving a link, and this, if your link and your opponent's monster, you can basically make them both have a 3000 attack by banishing this card. This card is interesting. It's kind of restrictive on how to summon the thing. But if you have this on board and arrival at Ignister, you'll do bonus damage. That's about it. That's really about it. I mean, the last effect is only good if your opponent somehow gets a monster bigger than arrival at Ignister on the board, which admittedly isn't that difficult to do, but still. So, if you want to play a copy of Gusari, go ahead. I'm not going to, but if you want to, go right ahead. We've got the Altergeist card, which I'm not going to go over. We've got a more... Okay, fine, I'll go over it. Basically, if you Altergeist Link summon, you can target a Link monster, summon this card to that zone that monster points to. So, it's an Altergeist that swarms when you Link summon an Altergeist, but it only works if you summon, when your opponent has a Link, which is kind of bad. It requires your opponent to have a board. If your opponent has a board, you're not playing Altergeist right. So, it's not that good. Maybe if they had an effect to link with their opponent's monsters, as this implies turning your opponent's monsters into Altergeist for a turn, but don't. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go to this dude. He's a manga card, Morph King Stygiel. Level 1 Dark Tuner, Fiend Tuner, 100 attack and defense. If this is normal or special summon, you can target a face-up monster. You can't summon from the extra deck except for synchros, but this guy's level becomes that card's level. You get 200 life points per the level of presumably Morph King or the guy that it targets. Regardless, gives you a little boost. But also, during the main phase, you can summon a Fiend from the hand whose level is lower than this card's. But you can only use each effect once per turn. This card's very nice for synchro players. You summon this thing out, you target one of your monsters, you give this guy a boost to his level, get some life points, then you summon another monster from your hand, go for big synchro play. So, very nice card. I would definitely consider running a few copies of this in any deck that likes to make the big boy synchro. Especially if you're playing like, I don't know, Red Dragon Archfiend or something, because this was used by the guy using Red. This was used by Jack in the manga. Yeah, it was. I think he only used it once, but he had it. So, if you're playing Red Dragon Archfiend, this is certainly something to consider. You can use, like, you know, stuff with it. Stuff and cards, man. That's all that matters. Stuff and cards. Next, we've got the Dazzling Lunar Dragon Celigray, a light level 6 dragon, 2400 attack, 1000 defense. The art focuses so much on the moon, I can barely see the dragon. But basically, you can summon it without a tribute, but its attack becomes 1500. And you target your opponent's monster with attack less than or equal to this dude's, bounce it to your hand to take control of that opponent's monster. So, basically, you know, the fact that this targets kind of dampens it. Honestly, if it didn't target, there would be so much reason to figure out ways to just turbo this thing out and steal your opponent's stuff. But it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. It's good in like a weird, cheap kind of tribute deck with like Stormforth and the like. So, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay, but it's not great. So, that's my opinion on this dude. Nice artwork, but maybe get your head out of the frame. Last monster is Silky the Living Memory. Level 2 Dark Fairy Tuner, 800 attack, 0 defense. It looks like a Mayakashi or something. Or not Mayakashi, Shiranui. And this card states that if it's in the hand or grave, you can target a face-up monster on each player's board, put him face down, and summon this card. But banish when leaves field. So basically, it's like Snow, where you can flip monsters face down and summon it. But, you know, it requires both players to have a face-up monster and all that, so it's not that good. But it's okay, I suppose. I don't know. I think it's alright, but it's not great. Maybe it'll see a little bit of play, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Next, we've got a spell, Burning Soul, which used to be a manga card on here. That was bullshit. This spell, oh, wrong card, there we go. Burning Soul, a quick play spell, states if you control a level 8 or higher synchro, add a card from grave to hand except for itself, and do a synchro with a synchro monster using monsters you control. Synchro summon a synchro with the monsters you control. Ooh, that's how you do it. But for the rest of this turn, you can't your opponent cannot target it with card effects. So basically, it's a quick play spell with a requirement of having a big synchro on the board to get you any card back, but then you have to immediately do a synchro shortcut. So yeah, it's a cool card in concept because it lets you get back anything, but you need to have your board set up to do the synchro summon before you play the card. So it might see a play as a one-of in Red Dragon decks. Again, it's something Jack used. So we'll see how it goes. Next is a very interesting card, the Hidden Fangs of Revenge, a quick play. Basically, if your opponent attacks you, you destroy 2 of your set cards to negate the attack. But if you destroy a monster card, you pick one of them, destroy your opponent's monsters with defense less than, or their attack is less than that monster's defense, and then it becomes the end phase. And here's the thing, this is a spell speed 4 card. You can't respond to this card. It's pretty dang sick for such a weirdly specific card. So I'm playing this in goblins, obviously, because you know one of the goblins has 2,000 defense. So it's an idea. Okay, don't be hating. Don't be hating. Next, we've got Pendulum Transfer. Target up to two pendulum monsters you control. Put them in the pendulum zone. But why? I mean, if you got pendulums, you got your zone set up already. I mean, I suppose there's some. I guess if your zones got destroyed or something, this would be good recovery. But no, definitely not. Next, we've got Potluck Party, a continuous spell that states at the start of the battle phase, you can target a face-up monster you control. Your opponent chooses the attack targets for the attack of that monster you control, and if it battles an opponent's monster, it gains attack equal to its original attack during damage calc. So basically, this is a thing for beating over your opponent's monsters, but does this imply that you can attack directly? Your opponent can force your monster to attack directly, maybe? Maybe force them to have you attack their monsters or attack them directly. It's an interesting concept. Certainly an interesting idea. Might have to make a deck around that. We'll see how it goes. This is a nice card. But yeah, last thing, Icebound God is a new trap that states 2 or more monsters on the field. Target face-up monster of opponents. That monster can't attack, its effects are negated. And if a level 5 or higher water is normal or special summoned, while this is in the grave, set it, but banish when leaves the field. This card's not that good. It's not that good. It requires the 2 or more water monsters just to negate one card, and that card can be linked away and the like. So, I'll just play in permanents. Thank you. So yeah, those are the cards for today's episode. Some nice new gems. I really like Strahl. This guy's cool too. The main deck cards aren't that great. Well, Hidden Fangs is good, obviously. Potluck is interesting. But for the most part, the extra deck cards are what is king today. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash like if you did. Next episode will be whatever new cards are on YGO Pro next time. Your boy Memphis is signing out. Take care, everybody. Have fun. Happy holidays. See you next time.